Hello again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another speed build video in The Sims 4. I hope you're all having the most amazing day ever so far and thank you so much for joining me here today. We are back with our Let's Rebuild Copperdale save file series and today we're working on this 20 by 20 lot that's kind of hidden in the woods, and I thought this would be the perfect lot to turn into a home for the town's policeman or cop, however you want to sort of describe him, and his job. Now, if you're not familiar with Stranger Things, then this probably isn't going to mean an awful lot to you, but if you are, think Hopper from Stranger Things, because I know he lived in a house. It didn't look anything like this, by the way. I was merely inspired by the character of Hopper and thought that I could build him his own dedicated kind of, I don't know what you would call this. Is it like a mobile home or a... I'm not entirely sure what this is categorized as, to be completely honest. The word is escaping me right now, but I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments down below. So essentially the sim that I envision living here is the police officer for this town. He's a single guy, he's not married, he doesn't have any kids, he's a little bit of a lad's lad, you know, he likes to date a lot of women, he likes to frequent the local bar, and he's so well loved by the entire community, but I don't think his, let's say, relationship with women is necessarily the most healthy, is kind of what I would think. But I would absolutely love if someone could create a sim for this lot and be inspired by Hopper from Stranger Things. So I will put that in the description down in the description box below, so that when you come to create the sim, then you've got a really good idea of who is living here. And don't forget, if you would like to upload any sims for this Copperdale save file, then you can upload them to the gallery using my hashtag RachelPedd which is up on the screen for you now. And there's been so many people upload sims. I've been quite overwhelmed with it, actually. It's been utterly incredible. Like, I'm not too good at making sims. I'm good at thinking of backstories, I'm good at building, but when it comes to creating the sims themselves, I do struggle a little bit. So what I decided to do with this save file, and probably what we're going to be doing for the other save files that I end up releasing over the course of goodness knows when and how long, it's just going to be an ongoing project, I think. But I'm going to be getting you guys to actually create the sims, because it seems to me like a lot of you have been really excited about this project. But anyway, the exterior shape, you can see it came together really quickly. I didn't really spend an awful lot of time on this build. I did end up adding a lot of detailing to the build. There's quite a bit of clutter on the interior. I did have a really good think about the kind of sim that I thought would live here and what his interests are. I don't think he particularly kind of cares about his home. It's a place where he eats and sleeps. That's pretty much how he views it, and he has probably quite a few lady friends over quite often. Let's say. I'm trying to think of the PG term and way to actually say that. I'm hoping that I got it, because I'm hoping you get the gist of what I'm trying to get across. But I thought it would be a really good opportunity to create this really teeny tiny pool, and I also give him like a floaty so that he can crack open a beer and just on his day off, you know, this guy is, he's a bit of a dude. Strangely attractive. I'd say strangely attractive. Hopper, in my opinion, is an attractive character, so I do think he's an attractive sim. I think he's, if I were to guess his age, I would think he's in his mid to late 40s, perhaps very early 50s, is what I am thinking in my head. So again, just so that you've got a really good idea of how I envisioned this particular character. But yeah, we're pretty much done with the outside. I'm going to be honest, there's a few details that we end up adding. I think this particular sim likes to spend quite a bit of time outside, particularly in the summertime. I think he likes to have some of his body round for barbecues, and he likes to entertain. He likes to maybe throw a couple of parties here and there. Don't forget, he's the town cop, so it's not going to be like out of control parties or anything like that, but I think he's quite a sociable sim. and I don't think he regrets not getting married or having children either. I honestly do not think for a second that he regrets that. If you're not familiar with like the character Hopper from Stranger Things, he ends up pretty much he does end up adopting a character called 11. I'm not going to start talking about Stranger Things, but I don't think I would necessarily say that this particular sim is going to go down that route, but it just completely depends how you want to play this save file out when it's released, how you want to play out all of these characters and their lives and their storylines. For me, it would be, he's probably just going to stay here until the Grim Reaper takes him away. To be honest, he's more than happy, more than content with his life, and I can't honestly see anything changing or happening, like anything drastic happening anytime soon. Anyway, the exterior is pretty much done. We just end up adding some more windows, of course, but what I did end up doing was laying out the floor plan beforehand so that I could really work out the window placement, which isn't something that I would usually do. Usually I'll create my floor plans around where I've already placed the windows, which in hindsight is not a good idea. I would not recommend it. It's just the way that I work, and I clearly like to stress myself out. But in this particular build, because the windows were at the back and I couldn't really see them, they were very inoffensive to me. So I thought, well, it doesn't really matter where the windows are. Anyway, the floor plan's done. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit, and it has an open plan kitchen, dining and living area. Again, obviously sticking with the 80s inspired decor and furniture and theme. I'm hoping I'm getting that across in this save file. There's certain builds that I'm doing where I think, yes, I've absolutely nailed that there. And then there's other builds where I think, I might have missed the mark just a little bit. I think with this one, I'm sort of sat somewhere in between those two opinions. I think there's certain elements of it where I think, oh yeah, I think I've absolutely nailed the 80s theme. And then there's other elements where I think, oh no, that's not 80s. I think the beauty with an 80s inspired save file is that, you know, everything comes together at once. I don't think there's necessarily like 80s, well, there are. I was just about to say, I don't think there are 80s items in The Sims. There definitely are, but I think you need to mix and mash them to actually get them to work within a space. And now I am just having another ramble about something that is completely and utterly useless, in my opinion. Hope you've got a beverage with you, by the way, because this seems to be quite a rambly voiceover. I do apologise. But no, the kitchen came together relatively quickly. Again, because he's a single guy, I really didn't think there would be any requirement for any more than 2 dining chairs. If you would like to change that up, then of course, please feel free to do so. I am adding each and every one of these lots as we're moving through and going through the save file. I'm adding them to the gallery and uploading the tray files and adding them to the description box just down below in the videos. So if you would like to at any point just download the lots and perhaps play them on their own, then that's absolutely fine. And I do apologize there for the camera going in and out, and I pressed a key that I'd already set as like a camera angle and I'd accidentally pressed it on my keyboard. I am so sorry. I feel like I've done that quite a few times in the last couple of weeks. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with me, but hey ho. Oh, and I also think it's worth mentioning that I do change the layout of this living space, because when I stopped recording, I'd nipped downstairs to go and grab a drink because I was a bit thirsty, and then I came back upstairs and I was like, why on earth have I put the TV unit on an angle? Like, it just made no sense whatsoever. So I do end up just shuffling the furniture around ever so slightly, and I did also change the swatch of the sofa because I feel like I've used this snotty green there's no other way to describe it, I'm sorry. I feel like I've used this green swatch of the sofa quite recently in one of the builds for this save file, so I end up using the blue one. There's probably going to be someone in the comments that says, Rachel, you've used the blue one recently as well. I don't know. I'm going to have to go through all the builds and make sure that they don't all have the same sofa. I feel myself being pulled in to certain colours and swatches of that particular sofa because I'm struggling with finding sofas and chairs that I haven't already used in the save file 4 new builds. So I think I'm going to have to do a little bit more digging and be a little bit more creative, perhaps with some of my item choices. But that's fine. It's not a problem at all. So that is pretty much the living room and kitchen done, bar the changes that I made off camera. But look, I shuffled the TV unit into the center of, so like it's facing the sofa directly, and then I had a bookshelf to the left hand side. That is quite literally all I did. And for some reason I was like, oh, I need to sort this before I start filming again. Doesn't make much sense. I'm so sorry. I'm having trouble talking at the moment. I was live streaming last night and words escaped me on at least 3 or 4 occasions. So if you were part of the live stream last night, I'm so sorry about that, genuinely. Speaking of live streams, today is Wednesday and I will be live tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. UK time. I have already scheduled it via YouTube, so you can click the get notified button under the video and then you'll be notified when I go live. So it'd be amazing to see some more of you there tomorrow night. But we had the best live stream. Honestly, I was really quite overwhelmed with it. I didn't really think many people were going to show up, and I was just incredibly overwhelmed by the support and the love and just everything. So just wanted to thank you. Separately, I already thanked people on the live stream, but yeah, just wanted to let you know that I'm also live tomorrow evening. Very exciting. It's going to be a weekly occurrence, is the live streaming, so that's really exciting. Probably every Friday, and if not Friday, it'll be like over the weekend at some point, but you can stay up to date with everything. I'll likely just let you all know the schedules as and when I decide to tinker with them. Anyway, the bathroom ended up being quite a bit bigger than I had anticipated, so we do end up adding some of the kitchen counters in there and just adding a sink, because I didn't really know what else to do with that space, I'm gonna be honest. And then I was like, oh, he needs a neon sign in here. Like I said, he's a bit of a dude. I just thought it worked perfectly. And then I remembered that we have the phones from the nostalgia event, so I was like, they're coming into this build, because I've been using them and adding them to the rest of the 80s save file. I'm slowly but surely going through the lots. I think this is the 7th lot that we've actually completed out of, I believe it's 12. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 12 or thereabouts. Anyway, I've already told you all that I'll be doing the high school last, because I've only ever built one high school in my entire Sims building life and career, however you want to describe it, and it took a lot of energy out of me. So that will be the last lot that we work on for this save file. It's gonna be a tough one, but clearly I'm feeling up to the challenge. So I'm gonna need to be researching like 80s schools. I'm gonna have to see if I can actually do that successfully, so we shall see. But yeah, this is the bedroom. I went on another little ramble there. This is the bedroom. It's quite long and quite skinny, but I did think that was quite in keeping for the type of lot and house that we decided to build. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with this. I'm very happy with the sim that I've thought of for the storyline for this build. Happy with the build, and I can't wait to see the sim that you all create. So very excited. But that's pretty much it for this video. Sorry about the rambles as always, but I really hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to download this house, it's available from the gallery right now. My origin ID is RachelPedd. Tray files, as always, are linked down in the description box just below. You can get them for free from Sim File Share. But thank you so much everyone for joining me here today. You all take care, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye.